Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. This is CinemaTalk, and it's podcast Rule Thirds. Today we're going to be talking about crowdfunding, just as in general. We're going to bring some examples and stuff, and it's going to be a good time about funding your project through the fans. It's a relatively new thing, and we need to give our 2 cents on it. So we'll get right to it. My name is Sean.
My name is Larry.
And my name is Max.
You said that with such uncertainty. Why do you double check that is in fact your name?
I think it's Max.
And we'll be back after our totally legally placed theme. We bought the rights, don't worry.
Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Actually, I think it's public domain now. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I doubt it.
Okay.
Anyway, welcome to CinemaTalk. Again, podcast.rulethirds.com. As opposed to the tons of other podcasts on rulethirds.com.
Yeah, and you should go listen to those.
Yeah, they're really good. All our fans.
Review the podcast. Don talks about trailers.
That'd be boring. Okay, let's jump right to it. I want to get to the topic. So, since the last...
Well, wait, Sean.
What's on the site?
Yeah, what's on the site, bro? We had something really cool
That's what I'm
going
saying.
on.
Since the last... Okay. The last Cinema Talk was Star Wars Episode 7 speculation. Very nerdy, very interesting.
Very fun.
Definitely go check... Very fun. I enjoyed that episode a lot. I did a lot of background singing with my angelic voice.
It was so much fun to edit. It was so much fun.
Use the love theme from Episode 2. I'm still mad at you for that.
Well, I'm sorry, but I intentionally didn't put it in because I hate you. No, I legitimately forgot. I actually like to cut a few. I want to put a few more Star Wars songs. That's not important. We also went out very excited about this. Finally, we're back to doing video reviews.
Yay!
We talked a little bit about hiatus, and we're doing Angry Video Game Nerd, the movie. And it is arguably our best review. It's in my top 3 or 2, whatever. It's definitely up there. Very enjoyable review.
And I got
We
to
got
edit
some
it.
pretty strong opinions. This is not TMNT, where Max and I are just,
And
No,
I'm
we got
here.
some-
Yay.
Yeah, but I'm trying to sell this, Larry, so shh.
Oh,
I'm trying to make people watch, so stop.
okay.
Anyway, on that subject, let's get right to our subject. Angry Video Game Nerd, the movie. It's made by the Angry Video Game Nerd, an internet icon, you could say. And he financed this film with Indiegogo, right? Or was it Kickstarter?
I think it was Indiegogo.
Okay, one of those two. Crowdfunded. This is a crowd-funded film, which, for those that don't know, means that they don't have like a studio, they don't have anything like that. They just ask people via the internet, hey, do you want to see this movie? Then throw us a couple bucks.
Yeah.
You know? And so the first time I saw it, like personally in my life, well, of course I've heard of it before, but SGC 2013. Screw Attack did their convention, totally crowdfunded, $100,000, and they made it. They had 120 something at the end.
Yeah,
and
I even contributed to that.
What?
I even contributed to that.
Yeah, so did I. And then we went to it, and Larry didn't. Let's laugh at him. Okay, I was kidding, Max. That was very rude. Do not laugh at Larry.
God,
You told
Max.
me to.
God, Max.
It was a
Why do
test.
you have to laugh
I was
at me?
influenced by Sean.
It was
okay?
a test, Max, and you failed the test.
Art does not cause violence, but Sean causes humiliation.
Well, when I go to the next SGC and Max isn't there, I'll just laugh at him after that.
Okay, well, we're getting really sidetracked, and if there's anything we don't want to be, it's sidetracked. So let's get back to the topic.
Oh, wow. Sean, you're so topical.
I'm
Look
on
at
fire.
Sean
I'm just
making
spinning around.
on-point references.
Just do left, right, left, right. But seriously, the topic. Basically, It means you ask the fans if they want to see the movie, they give a couple bucks, and it all comes together, and you get your budget that way. You don't have to get it from a studio, you don't have that. You get it from the fans. Which, let's just start by saying, I think it's a brilliant concept.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
it's
definitely.
a wonderful idea.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I think it's a great thing that a lot of people really should embrace, and that has given us a lot of great things. For example, SGC.
Yeah,
Yes, they gave us SGC
crowdfunding
2013.
is great.
Yes,
Let's keep that in mind.
it essentially just, there are so many times where me and a friend will be talking to one another, we're like, we really want this to be made. We would love this. So it really is telling the fans, hey, put your money where your mouth is. If you want to see it so
That's
badly,
a great way to put it.
give
It's
them
pretty
the
much
money.
saying, like Screw Attack kept getting things like, guys, when's the next SGC? When's SGC? They said, okay, if you guys really want SGC this bad, you pay for it.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
it's kinda
that
like
kind
that.
of sounds a bit negative in a way,
Yeah,
but
it
it's
wasn't,
true.
But it's basically prove it. Prove that you want it that much.
Yeah.
Throw us a couple bucks if you're down for it.
True. But aside from that, it can also get people who want to start their own businesses and such on their feet as well. Not just what the fans want, but what they want.
Right.
For example, I contributed to a campaign to open up an ice cream shop the first like pasteurized ice cream shop in my town back home.
That's
and
cool.
It's great. I know the owner and I contributed, and it's freaking great.
Yeah, we should.
So great things coming from crowdfunding.
Yeah, we should be clear that while we're definitely going to be focused on entertainment crowdsourcing, because we're a movies podcast, this applies to a lot. Full-on businesses have been funded.
Even bowls of potato
salads.
Yeah,
Yep, I was about to bring it up.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, again, this guy did a joke Kickstarter for like $15.
Yeah.
For potato salad, and
He
got
even
tens
had
of thousands.
stretch rewards for the potato salad.
And what's funny is that he donated a lot of that to charity,
which is nice, which is great.
Which is nice. But anyway, I'm glad we got this positive stuff, because we are going to be kind of critical of either some products that came about from it, or it's most for what I want to talk about specifically is how it's done wrong and how it kind of like goes. Like, there's one example. I don't want to. Let's not start. Let's not start negative.
Before we do that, real quick, not just Kickstarter, also Indiegogo, also GoFundMe, also all this stuff.
This
not
is just
Kickstarter.
Yeah, any website where you can say, "Hey guys, if you want whatever service or product, boom, give me some money as like a donation, and if I get a certain number of donations, we'll make it happen. It'll happen."
Angry Video Game Nerd the movie was funded through
yes,
Indiegogo.
that's why we're bringing it up, because we just reviewed Angry Video Game Nerd the movie, and it was completely funded by them, by the fans. They did not need to go through any studios whatsoever.
Exactly.
So, where do we start? Because I want to save mine, because mine's kind of negative. Do we want to start with Angry Video Game Nerd the movie?
Well, I mean,
and talk about
okay. I guess to be fair, I mean, personally, while I did not think the movie was great, as we see by the review, I know plenty of fans who got exactly what they wanted. Like, they loved the movie, and you know what? That's a great thing. I mean,
sure.
It's great to know that even if it takes so long, like the AVGN movie took a very long time to make because there were so many roadblocks that got in the way. And to see it finally come out and to see your fans happy and they finally got what they want, it's a nice feeling overall.
Then there are the fans that, didn't get a great product out of it. They've been
So Max, did you contribute to the Kickstarter?
No, I actually didn't, because I did not have access to that funding, and I was.
Well, Max,
that Kickstarter, that Indiegogo happened when I was like 16.
Max, you should have done a Kickstarter to raise money to donate to his Kickstarter.
Kickstarter to Kickstarter, ladies and gentlemen.
That's. I wonder.
Kickstart
that will
section.
Happen someday. Somebody will do that.
That is Kickstart section.
That's going to happen someday. You heard it here first on CinemaTalk.
Boom.
No one heard it here.
Nobody heard it. Exactly.
Okay. I think what I want to talk about in regards to Angry Video Game Nerd the movie is how I ended the review. Like, it's great that the fans got this movie. I'm very glad. It doesn't matter if this was just the worst movie I've ever seen, which it wasn't. But I didn't like it. It doesn't matter. The people that made it were very happy that they finally got to make it. I will always support that, no matter how awful the product is. Right? Like, that doesn't matter. The people made it, are happy with it, great. So I'm glad they crowdfunded it because of that.
Yeah.
However, we talked about it a little bit, and I want to bring this point regarding this movie specifically. Max, you put it very delicately, as you called this movie, masturbatory.
Hey, look at that delicate phrasing right there.
And
which, just to show you because honestly, this is kind of a very pretentious word that nobody actually uses outside
Nobody uses it.
Word form.
Yeah.
But it just basically means very self-serving, self-indulgent, very selfish, self-absorbed, self-everything.
And nobody uses
it. Oh, how awesome we are. As if you were masturbating to yourself.
Exactly.
Thank you for laying it out.
Thank you for explaining it so delicately.
Okay, well, my voice is going to be a little weird. I don't know why I just had to constantly. Okay. Now, this is related, I think, to crowdfunding in one crucial way, in that the fans financed it. So think of it this way. Your movie exists because fans gave you money.
Because people wanted it to happen.
Who's going to be watching it? Well, probably the people that gave you money. Probably the fans.
Yeah.
So do you think they're going to be okay if you start giving yourself an ego trip? Yeah.
Well, the movie was about him saving his fans from the doom that is.
Yeah.
I don't even fucking know it.
Yeah. When you put it that way, Max, it's even worse than I thought. That's kind of the theme of that. I mean, if you watch the review, I gave it a 5.5, and then I DM'd Larry the next day saying make it a 4.5, and then right before we published it, I said make that a 4.
It was very sad.
It's just the more I think about it, it's just It's a
Can
very
you lower
weak-
my score to a negative 3?
No, you
Negative 3 out of 10 would not buy.
No, you can't. So, do you think crowdfunding, in this sense, harmed? Like, do you think the crowdfunding is kind of responsible for this?
Okay, actually, I will answer that with a different question. If the three of us had contributed to this Indiegogo all those years ago, do you think we'd have a different opinion on the film? Would we like it? Would we have liked it more? Or,
No.
No.
at least in my case, would I have disliked it more? Because
You
I
would have
put
been
money
pissed.
into it.
Yeah, you would get more pissed because you put money in it. If you weren't satisfied,
I
there
guess
goes my $6.
I'm not angry at it enough. I'm just kind
Yeah,
of
I'm not angry at the film at
disappointed.
all. I mean, personally,
I love how cliche that was.
Our
We're not
actual
angry
opinions
with
aside,
you.
would they change that much if we actually did contribute to this Indiegogo? Would it?
I don't
know.
I think for some fans, probably. If a
Yeah.
fan put like, okay, because some people are crazy and they donate like $125 to get that stretch goal that they put at that high of a number. There are
Oh,
some
and
people who
are
do that.
People were donating thousands to that.
Yeah.
And that reached far more than its goal. Like, the Angry
Oh,
Video
yeah.
Game Mirror movie was supposed to be, like, way less than what it became.
Well, yeah,
It got
and
so
it
many stretch goals
shows.
that people started to call out the entire production, which is bullshit, but whatever. But yeah.
It shows, definitely. I mean, it shows in the scenes like the explosion and not the scene where the toy truck falls down the styrofoam hills. But I think that, I kind of want to work off that idea. I think it's hard to really say what our opinions would be because we didn't pay for it. But I know fans who have seen it and did pay money for it, and there were some that did not like it. But they said to themselves, you know what? I paid for a good cause. You know?
Again, that goes back to my thing. I'm glad they got to make this movie.
Yeah.
James Rolfe seems like a great guy. I talked to him at SGC.
Yeah,
It's
and
kind of-
some
Yeah, you did too.
people...
We were standing in line, and he just kind of cruised by like it was no big deal, and we stopped.
I was
him,
looking
and-
down my 3DS. Sean, you're like, Max, look up. And there he was. And I was you remember this, Sean. I was literally speechless.
Yeah, like we said, masturbatory. Anyway,
Now keep that all in mind and then go watch the review. Yeah.
So, some people, not every single crowdfunder funds for a masturbatory reason,
right?
for their
okay.
own pleasure.
Let's make
No,
this.
I don't think they do it for. I think they would just want the thing to exist.
Yes.
Right.
I think now it goes in the hands of, is it the filmmaker's job then to acknowledge the fans? I mean, if we look at other crowdfunding stuff that we brought up, like SGC, that's all about, like, that's for us. Like,
Yes, okay, but that's the
whole
thing. That is for us. Like, it's a convention. That's the whole point. Movies aren't meant for whatever
us.
fan base. It's not like they
Yeah.
exist solely for us.
If
Now,
the fans controlled how movies would go, the
Oh my
Marvel
gosh.
Cinematic Universe would just be a mess.
it would be such a mess.
Oh, God. I don't even want to think about it.
That would be Anyway, I did want to bring this broader scope. Is there? Do you think there's more pressure?
Oh, yes. Oh,
I would think
yes.
there's more pressure
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you're not like. Guess what? You disappointed the studio. Oh no.
Oh, no.
You know, I'm not talking money. I'm just talking. The studio executives didn't think it was a good movie. Oh no.
You know?
They're gonna move on. They've got a dozen more movies. Excuse me, dozen more movies like this month.
Right.
Okay, but this is like fans gave their hard-earned cash for this product, and they were pissed, like Max. I'm saying theoretically some. You know,
Yeah.
inevitably any crowdfunded movie, it's going to upset some people. Obviously,
Right.
Not everybody loved SGC.
no,
Just unfortunate.
which is stupid because it was freaking awesome.
Yeah, it's like, they're like 3 people.
There's just 3 people in the corner like, this sucks. Let's write this.
I think there's definitely a lot more pressure, and I think
Yeah.
I think you kind of have to walk into Kickstarter knowing that if you're gonna ask fans to donate money, you better give them a damn good product.
Yeah, because these are just normal people. Now again, most people donating, it's like less than $20, right? So it's not like we're talking like, I'm going to give you my livelihood, James Rolfe. Please make
Yeah.
a good film. And then
yeah.
I'm picturing this old woman on her deathbed. She sees, she's like, oh god, it was the worst. We're not talking like
Yeah,
that.
Those
I
are her
thought,
last
like-
words.
Yeah.
Personally,
That was
I've
terrible.
funded like 6 Kickstarters so far, and I've contributed like $20 to each. Like
Yeah,
a good
so-
like $15-20. So not that much investment.
However, I do think as a whole, the fan base coming together to fund a whole film or like $100,000 for a convention, that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. I don't think I need to spell that out, but that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
that fact adds more pressure than, if you rationalize, it's like, oh, it's just one person's like $20. That doesn't matter. You've got all these people with high expectations because they gave you $100,000. The thing of a fan base is that it unifies people for better or worse, usually for worse.
Usually for worse.
So, usually, I mean, let's be honest, usually for worse.
Yeah.
So the pressure does become, we funded you. I know I gave $2, but we gave you $100,000.
Right.
Yeah. Here's another thing here's another problem. When somebody gives you money, they want to see a product relatively soon.
Yes, that was a problem.
And that's a huge problem with impatience and film production. It takes a while.
It's awful.
That's something I learned in film school.
Making
takes a long time.
The thing I learned is that film production is awful. In the end, it's worth it when you've got your final product, but actually doing it. No, actually, okay. I've had really good experiences.
If you make a
most
goal
of the
to
time.
get your film out by a year after the Kickstarter, you've got a year. Now that sounds like a lot, but
it's not.
Trust me,
at all.
it's not when it comes to filmmaking.
Even for a short film,
especially with James Rolfe and all the things he had to do.
You're lucky to get production going a year after you start writing the script.
Yeah,
you're lucky.
That's kind of something. It's not going to be controversial. No one listened to this. The Tropes vs. Women in Video Game series.
Oh, yeah, let's go to the controversial part.
No one's watching. We're not going to get hate comments.
Actually, I did want to talk about this. I hope this would have come up. So thank you for bringing it up.
Anita Sarkeesian, Feminist Frequency is the website and YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
She kickstarted a series of videos examining roles of women in video games. It's a wonderful series. I would highly recommend it.
As would I.
Awesome.
Yes,
it's an awesome series.
And it doesn't. And it's not like. And I don't want to. I think she's got enough people defending her. Very much so, but it's very informative and it's not confrontational. It's
it's not.
Here's how it works.
Yeah, it's very just here are the facts. Here's what I'm pointing out. It's definitely not confrontational unless it needs to be. There are a few moments where she'll hit a point hard and it's very well written. But anyway, I bring this up because it was delayed. It did take forever. Yeah, it was controversial from the start because of course the internet being the immature little whatever. I don't know. We're terrible on the internet. On average. We saw someone trying to make a video series about talking about women in video games. Are they going to take away my video games?
Criticizing us? How dare she?
Guys, video games are legitimate art. How dare you criticize them? How dare you?
How dare we discuss our opinions about subjective media? Ugh.
It's art. You can't talk about that.
Ironically, it was all that rage and all that press that led to the thing doing so
What's so funny
well.
is I would not know about it and accept all the controversy. I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch this. It might piss me off because I didn't really know what it was about. It's going to piss me off. And then I watched it and I still cannot grasp. Why is this controversial? She's saying, hey, these tropes are all over the place and they should probably stop because they're sexist or just plain out dumb.
The weirdest part is that more of the video is just pointing them out. Literally, she'll spend the first 15 out of the 17 minutes. This is an example of it in this game, and this is an example of it in this game, and go on and on.
This ridiculous tangent aside, people were upset from the beginning that it was existing, and so when it didn't come out at the time that they said it probably would, they said we're wanting to have the series out in a blank amount of months or whatever. As soon as that date hit, people were immediately tagging it fraud, stealing money. It was just instant. It was an instant thing.
That's the cost. Yeah, that's the cost of crowdfunding. People get super impatient when you give them money. People get very, very, very controlling when they give you money for anything.
Because they gave you money. I gave you $5. You had better meet your deadline.
Yeah,
that doesn't follow.
No.
And also, I mean, patience is a virtue, they say. But especially with entertainment, again, there's more than just entertainment crowdfunding. That's what we're talking about here. Stuff happens. It always has to wait. And so you have to be super just understand that stuff happens, and so I don't know what happened in this case.
This is why personally, as far as my Kickstarter experience, I actually knew of the site at its very infancy, right when it was starting. I noticed that it had come out.
Oh, did you know about Kickstarter before it was cool?
Nah, I don't want to think about it like that.
Because
really, to be very fair, Kickstarter...
Are you a kick hipster?
Hipstarter.
Hipstarter, there we go. There was a joke.
Can we make it?
Sean knew there was a joke there, and he got it. He got it.
There was this thing in the back of my head.
Bravo.
Think of a better joke. And there it is, Hipstarter.
Bravo.
Thank you.
It's like in 22 Jump Street. Ding! Got it.
Got it. No.
I've been bowing for a little bit. You can't tell because
I
it's
clapped.
audio, but
I clapped.
I've been bowing.
I clapped. That was the proper response to me.
Okay, anyway,
but
delay.
Right.
People get entitled because they gave money.
Right, but
especially in entertainment, there's this entitlement problem. Especially in gaming, there's an entitlement problem.
Yeah, like what I was just saying, like I knew of it, and I thought to myself, oh, this is cool. But then I saw all these people doing things, and I mean, I didn't really have the money to spend all willy-nilly because I was definitely still a teenager back then.
You're still a teenager now.
Exactly. That's why I said definitely. But it's just like I never really donate to Kickstarters. The closest I've come is I do it for like charity streams, like for Child's Play when they game for 24 hours or something like that. I mean, it's charity. Why not?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But this is why, because I feel like there's always that nagging idea in the back of your mind that if it doesn't go as if you don't approve of the final product, there's a nagging feeling in the back of your mind, like, why did I?
Well, that's
donate?
part of Kickstarting. There's this faith behind it. There's
right.
this.
All right.
Like everyone who gave to Angry Video Game Nerd the movie said James Rolfe knows a lot about filmmaking. He's a huge movie buff.
Oh, huge.
He's a big producer of videos. Like, he knows what he's doing in the video realm.
Yep.
I think he can put together a decent Angry Video Game Nerd movie.
And
now,
he
whether
did.
or not he did or not, we say
It's irrelevant to this discussion now.
Right.
But it is relevant.
Here's what I want to bring up.
Okay.
And this is on the other side of the whole tropes for women in video games thing real quick.
Okay.
See, there's something I think that a lesson can be learned from that Kickstarter is that transparency is your best friend
Yes,
and like your
definitely.
only ally. See, with the Angry Video Game New movie, James Rolfe updated us
All the time.
every once in a while, like behind the scenes stuff, what's going on set,
It was
photos,
constant.
videos,
And
all
it
that
was
stuff.
consistent.
There's a short film that I funded. I see on Facebook that they're like in the editing process that they're
Nice.
like this way. It's good to like let people know how it's doing. With those tropes videos, it was there. And there was no word that it finally happened.
Except for occasional Kickstarter updates.
Right.
But those
and,
are blocked.
Yes.
A good example of kind of updates would be... what is it? Oh, I just had it. Give me a second.
What, just like logging progress? Like day
No,
1,
there
2,
was
3?
some specific... I always have to give updates. I totally forgot. But yes, updating... Thank you. Updating is critical because... you could feel cheated, definitely, and when people just give money to again, it's so abstract. It's like, I need $15,000 to do blank, and then that totally vanishes. Like Kickstarter says, yeah, they got the $15,000. It's kind of nerve-wracking to think, well, what if this doesn't happen, or what if and I'm just going to waste my money? So people want that reassurance. So be transparent. Give the fans updates. Definitely.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, it's just best to keep them like, oh, my money is going towards something. I don't know. But like, we're not experts. We're just kind of, I'm a participant, and I mean, that's just something I've noticed.
Think about it this way. In film, the executive producer doesn't actually really do anything. Executive producer is a fancy way of saying he paid for this, but you update him on the film's progress. You don't go to executive. You don't go to Christopher Nolan and say, "Hey, can you be executive producer for Batman vs Superman?" And he says yes, and he gives you like millions and millions of dollars, and you just walk away, and there's nothing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. These are the people that funded you. And it's even more so than that. Because, hey, it's just some Hollywood suit that funded your movie, whatever. These are your fans. This is even more. You need to make sure they're in the loop. Oh, that's it. The web series Duralis and Associates is another Kickstarter I wanted to bring up. Do you guys know that web series?
Nope.
No.
It's really funny. It's an animated fantasy comedy.
Oh, that's cool.
Do you know Battlefield Friends?
No.
Okay, well, it's the same guys. Anyway, I was around when they did Kickstarter. My roommate contributed, and they did updates. They also Cyanide and Happiness.
Ah, yeah.
Oh,
Cyanide.
yeah, I know those guys.
They kickstarted a series, web series, which I love why they did it. They said that they were approached to do a Cyanide and Happiness TV show. If you don't know, they're an online comic strip. Really funny, usually inappropriate. But they were approached to a TV show, but they would lose all creative control, and they weren't comfortable doing that. So they turned down the network and instead crowdfunded a show that they could have complete rights to. So I really respect that. And not only did they give some updates every once in a while, but one of their stretch goals really early on was just a series of consistent shorts leading up to the full episodes.
That's brilliant.
And so you're getting entertainment as well as a constant reminder that, yes, we're working on videos. So they're handling it really well.
Yeah.
They're handling it very well.
Okay, so we talked about how people handle it very well. Should we go to the other side? Well,
Yes.
no. Should we go to the other side, not of people handling it well, but the people putting him out in the first place. Because I know, Sean, that there's a specific person that you want to talk about.
Definitely.
And probably the most objectionable part of crowdfunding is who's exactly you're contributing to, and whether or not they really need it.
Yes, so do we want to get to my thing?
I have no negative Kickstarters
yeah,
that I've seen, so I don't have anything to bring into
well,
this.
Well, no, I'm not... Yeah. Well, honestly, the crowdfunding frontier right now is actually very positive. Like,
right now. It's
the structures behind them and the people that could... Honestly, I think it would make more sense. Sean, let's talk about it.
Okay. Backstory. There's a show called ER. There's this main star called Zach Braff. He's a millionaire. He's really successful, really popular. He directed Garden State, a very well-liked indie film. Years later, he crowdfunds a movie called Wish I Was Here.
Oh, I know that movie. That was crowdfunded?
Also the Veronica Mars movie.
The Veronica Mars movie is different. We will get to that.
Wait, that was crowdfunded?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, I did not know that. It seemed very, wide release kind of...
Okay, do we want to do Veronica Mars first? Let's just do Veronica Mars first.
Yeah, because just chronologically.
From what I know, TV show, fans wanted a movie, wrap up the story a bit better, and they finally got it. Years after the show ended, they got a movie. It was crowdfunded by the creators. So why I support that is because as far as I understand it, the network, the TV network the show was on, was not funding it. They could not get funding any other way.
Right.
Okay. See, I totally support that. And the fans responded. They got the movie. I don't know if it was any good. It got kind of mixed reviews, so I don't know if the fans liked it. I have no idea. I don't know. I never even heard of the show
maybe
before.
It was one of those cases where it was for the fans.
Yeah, my sister.
Not for anyone else.
My sister watched it on an airplane, but she said that she kind of fell out of the loop because she felt it would be much better for fans. So I think it's a little fan-oriented.
I think that's the thing to stay away from.
I know, but hey, that's
take
what
advice
happens.
from a bunch of people who think they know what they're talking about.
Who think?
You make a crowdfunding movie, don't do it for the fans, do it for everybody, and then everybody will be happy.
Yeah.
Well, don't please everybody, you know what I mean.
Yeah, you know.
Filmmakers, you guys are smart.
Yeah, they got it. Well, not all.
Not all, but most. Well,
yeah.
Hopefully.
Anyway, so Veronica. Okay, so you're cool with Veronica Mars. What about this?
Right.
Wish
so
I Was
Zach
Here.
Braff, big star, whatever. He made a movie, Wish I Was Here, which is one of the indiest films that's ever indied.
Really?
Yeah. The AV Club website that I like did this wonderful description of this movie. They said that Wish I Was Here is a movie about how life gives you feelings. That's the kind of movie he made because it's an independent film. I find that description hilarious.
Of course.
So, here's why I object to it. The idea of crowdfunding is pretty simple. I can't make this happen. If people want it enough, I can make this vision a reality. Or no one's greenlighting this movie. Because no one, they don't think the Angry Video Game Nerd movie can be a success, so no studio. Or I don't want to give up a lot of creative control. I'm going to see if the fans will help me. That's kind of the point of crowdfunding. People that can't get something made can ask others to chip in a little bit each, and they can make something happen. That's what we love about it. It's wonderful. So in this case, the person doing the crowdfunding is Zach Braff, an incredibly popular actor.
Well,
he's famous. He directed Garden State, very successful indie film. I guarantee he could go to any number of independent studios and he would get this project greenlit with no creative control. Indie studios probably wouldn't have too much problem with this movie as is, because it is so indie, you guys. It's so indie. So, that's my problem. This is not his place to get his movie funded. He is perfectly capable of getting it funded the old-fashioned way.
So why didn't he?
I don't know.
Well, now, okay, to play on the other side of this, Sean, maybe he turned to crowdfunding because no other studio would accept it.
Yeah.
No, there's no way. There was no way. Not a single independent studio. And every single independent studio out there said no to a Zach Braff movie. No. I'm sorry.
I mean,
well,
you know,
listen,
let's
be
clear.
clear.
If it's like
Hold
there's
on.
a star.
Hold on. Now, if we really want to play devil's advocate here, Zach Braff is not the most popular actor right now. You know, he had his heyday during Scrubs, and that was great for him.
That's where he's from.
But see, exactly. It took you a minute to remember.
I think you said ER.
Oh yeah, he's not an ER.
It was See, that's the point. The point I'm trying to make. He's not extremely he's not like up to the level right now that say a person like Kevin Spacey is right now. You know, I'm just bringing an example because I was thinking of Netflix. Not every studio is going to say to themselves, "Well, it's Zach Braff, then it's definitely going to be a box office
bring up
smash."
something.
Yes.
He was on Scrubs. He gets insane amount of royalties. He can probably pay for this movie himself.
Okay, well, if it's royalties, that's a different story. But if it's a studio, it's not a surefire bet. And even if
I don't think you know what I'm saying, Larry. He gets a ridiculous amount of royalty from
syndication.
Yeah, it's
okay,
insane.
I know.
The guy that played guys.
Think about it this way, Larry.
I heard
Jerry Seinfeld gets millions every year for reruns
guys,
of Seinfeld.
Guys,
yeah.
I know royalties.
The guy that plays Gunther on Friends gets $500,000 a year. Gunther, the guy at the coffee shop.
Yeah.
He was an intern that knew how to make coffees.
Context for this.
What?
I don't have any context for this.
You don't
Who
watch
is Gunther?
Friends?
No.
Who cares? The people who know
Get out right now.
people who know Friends will know what we're saying. But even if we want to make those assumptions,
So why couldn't he... Look, I just hate the idea that this celebrity who is big in the indie scene turned to crowdfunding. Crowdfunding is for the little guy. Zach Braff is not a little guy. He's not even close. I'm sorry. I'm not judging him personally. I don't know how Zach Braff is a person, but I'm upset that he did this because it's not his place.
Well, that brings
crowdfunding is for people that have no other option.
Well,
he had other options.
Well, that brings up
That's a very
the
good point,
idea.
Sean, and I have another example for you.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So, roosterteeth.com.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
You guys have heard about this, right?
No.
Rooster Teeth.
I
One of
think-
the most, perhaps, in charge of the most revolutionary machinima ever made.
Red
Red
versus
vs. Blue.
Blue.
Still cool. Go check it out. It's good.
Yeah, it's good.
They turned to Indiegogo to fund their movie. I think it's about lasers. How in the hell did they even try to sell this anywhere else? This is Rooster Teeth. These guys are more are almost, I would say, almost as popular as the video game that they started their freaking machinima on.
Halo.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Why didn't they turn to Microsoft? They have a partnership with Microsoft. They do stuff for Microsoft all the time. How did they not give them money to make this movie? Like, okay, you know what? I'm not gonna talk like I know how it went down. But it's so weird to me. Rooster Teeth is the video game website pretty much.
Yeah.
And
Well,
yet
okay,
they still
they're
turn to
the video
Indiegogo.
game
And if it
comedy
makes any
website.
indication, they got their funding in less than a day.
Yeah.
Less than, I think, 12 hours.
So that if you reach your goal that quick, you probably could have gotten it funded elsewhere. Unless you're telling me that every single executive, every single studio is an idiot.
Well,
Yeah, this is Rooster Teeth. They have a huge fan base behind them.
Yeah, they should know
Now,
that.
in the same vein, Angry Video Game Nerd also has a huge fan base and could have sold. However, I do want to point out that at the Indiegogo, he did
Okay.
mention in the original video that he could go to investors, but he wanted to turn to the fans first to
Okay.
give more creative control. I want to make that very
Now
clear.
I want to make a quick point. You know, I know it's very weird, these situations. Personally, I was involved with neither of these situations. So this is coming from a bit of an impartial view. We can't kind of just walk around and assume that we know what went down.
That's very
It's
true.
very
We sound like people
possible
on the
that
internet.
Zach
Now-
Braff could have gone to some indie studios and they could have been busy with other projects and they just couldn't have time to or they didn't have the money to fund his project. And it's very possible
But-
Rooster Teeth, and I don't even know if Microsoft has the ability to do
Yeah,
things like that.
Microsoft is doing a Halo TV series. They've got
Oh,
stuff
okay, well, then
to
never
make
mind.
things.
Well, maybe clearly Microsoft has their hands in many different lines of media.
Okay. I can understand that, Larry. And in that same vein of creative control, to bring up a movie that you recently reviewed, Snowpiercer got distribution. Snowpiercer the movie got distribution in America, and the only way it could go through at first was that Harvey Weinstein, the guy who was distributing
screw
the film,
that guy.
would have
Yeah.
to cut 30 minutes.
15.
Maybe that's one of
20.
the reasons why these guys take to Indiegogo or Kickstarter, or whatever, because you can get creative control
Good.
over all that you do.
And
This is
that's
a good thing to
good.
bring up.
And the
because-
fans did it. They got it
Yeah.
distributed.
See, that's a good thing to bring up. It's something that I tweeted about it. I realized lately that I've really not appreciated this enough, but being a complete nobody online, making videos and no one's watching, has given me complete creative control. I don't know. It's just like I don't have to morph to anything to get views. I don't have to worry about like people saying. I don't have to worry about ripping off jokes that I never saw. I don't have to worry about using clips from songs that I would immediately get flagged for if tons of people were watching. Like, I can do whatever I want on
the
preview.
benefits of being an internet nobody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I get this need for creative control, especially in movies. Especially after I had a class yesterday where it's a production class, and one of the people there, and I'm actually working on his film, when he pitched his 5-minute film, we pitched some short films, and it's just this great absurdist short film, and that sounds really pretentious. It's not. It's really funny, but very dark, and it's very abstract kind of thing going on. And the professor's biggest note was it needs an antagonist, and so he has no choice but to throw some sort of antagonist in because she's the one grading. So I get this argument that want creative control.
If you want to think about it like that, maybe Rooster Teeth and Zach Braff went to crowdfunding because that's what they were looking for. Who knows? You think you're going to go to Microsoft and get creative control?
I want to point out, Rooster Teeth is a bunch of very talented filmmakers. I wish no ill upon them. I just want some answers as to why, and maybe the answers are out there.
And you're really going to go to Microsoft and expect complete creative control?
Yeah.
Well,
no.
I mean, yeah, I guess not. Yeah, you know what? Maybe
here's the thing: we cannot antagonize the studios and all that. It is, especially in the case of "Wish I Was Here," which I just realized is grammatically incorrect.
Wish I were here.
Yeah.
Yep, it's Wish I Was Here. Indie movies, man. Indie movies. Anyway, see, it's ironic, guys. It's ironic because I'm an indie movie. Anyway.
And let us watch
movie
Sean
kind of
Capdeville
upsets me.
simultaneously
Okay.
break down in front of our very eyes.
Backstory, this movie upsets me because I worked at a local theater at back home over the summer, and I had to screen this film at least 36 times, and every single time I went up to the projection booth to turn on the lights, it was of the exact same shot of a slow pan-in on Zach Braff having feelings, and it was in slow motion, and he was staring right at me with his feelings face, and I wanted to punch it after the second time. And I saw it so many times.
I'd just like to point out to everybody that before we started recording, Sean told me he was in a good mood. This is
I
what
was
Sean
in a
sounds
good
like in a good
I
mood.
was in a good mood.
Yes,
But
he
now
was.
Zach Braff is ruining it. Again, I have nothing
Now
against
look,
Zach
now
Braff.
let's think about it. Let's think about it this way. None of the theaters I was near were showing that film, and I will
'cause it
guarantee
was
you that
indie.
besides New York, I think maybe one theater per state, maybe less, was showing that film.
I don't know if anywhere else in Montana was selling it. Showing it, but
honestly.
that's beside the point. The point being, with Wish I Was Here, I don't know. I don't know much about the indie scene, but I feel like part of the point of indie films is that they're not like Hollywood. So I feel like if Zach Braff came to an independent film studio and wanted complete creative control and showed them the script he already had written, I don't think they would give him major notes.
That's a good point.
I think they would say, yeah, you made Garden State, very popular indie film, go for this script.
How long
'cause you already
ago
had the
was
script.
that?
That's your Harvey Weinstein.
Oh God, screw that guy.
So,
No,
Larry, what did you ask?
I don't want to go on a Weinstein right now. I was going to ask you when Garden State come out.
Garden State? I don't know. I never saw it.
2004 or something. Like, it was a while ago.
So
It
that's
was a while
about
ago.
10 years ago. Can you really
Yeah,
keep
no.
up this? Can you really guarantee the same amount of success for an indie film nonetheless 10 years later? Especially when you've
I
been
don't
out
know,
of work
like,
for quite a
no,
while.
this isn't a matter of popularity. Like, this is just like, look, this isn't like selling it.
It's getting
I'm just
it made.
talking like he made an indie film that the indie audience liked, and so I don't think they would demand a lot of changes. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I guess not. But it is
So
a
yes,
studio.
I get creative control, and that's a wonderful thing. Like I would love to be able to crowdfund whatever movie and just make whatever I want because I don't have to answer to anyone. That's great in theory.
Yeah.
It's probably not going to happen, but
That actually reminds me, fun fact, when Citizen Kane was being made, this was when Orson Welles was like a huge radio guy. They heard his broadcast on the radio about War of the Worlds, and they gave him complete creative control for a movie. They're like, "You're brilliant."
Yeah.
So here's like everything.
Hollywood Studios.
And then the second movie he did, they took over his entire project, and that's why nobody.
Oh, damn it.
That's why nobody
happens.
remembers that one. Everyone remembers Citizen
the
Kane.
Andersons.
Yeah. I think that.
Film student pulling through.
Yeah.
With remembering the obscure Orson Welles movie. By the
Yeah.
way, Citizen Kane overrated.
I've been watching it with more of an analytical eye. I'm seeing a lot of really interesting stuff.
We
But
are spiraling into a tangent of
tangents.
infinite.
Okay,
are
so
fun.
the point of all this... No, Max, I was segueing with Citizen Kane, don't worry. I'm going to crowdfund a Citizen Kane remake. No. That would be very interesting.
Shot for shot remake in modern day.
Starring Nicolas Cage.
Oh my god, yes. Brilliant.
And Rosebud, the sled, is played by Andy Serkis and mocap.
Rosebud.
Anyway, are we good to wrap this up? Let's do some closing
Actually,
thoughts.
okay. I would like to close this with a scenario for you.
Go for it.
Scenario. So, I got into the TV show Community. You guys heard about the show?
Ah, yes, Community.
Yes, because I exist online and can't, and people
it is, okay,
don't
first
never
off,
shut up about it.
fantastic show. Totally on board.
Very
Great show.
fun.
You guys should check it out
Very
sometime.
fun.
Now, this show... Shut up, Sean.
No,
this
just everyone tells me to. Everyone tells me to see it.
No, it's because it's good. Okay, so everything on this show right now, it's kind of been going through hell. I don't know which hell, but it's going through a specific kind of hell in which it was picked up. It went for 3 seasons, and the creator had to leave. Then NBC fired the creator. Then it went for a season. Then they brought him back, and then he came back, and then they canceled the season, and now they're going on Yahoo. And I'm going to guess that based on this fact, and when NBC canceled the Community season, like after the 5th season, they went to Netflix, and Netflix said no. This is the kind of situation that they are
poor
in.
thing.
Yeah, I don't know why either, but whatever. So. Oh, and Sean, just to give you an idea, these are the same people, like, a lot of the writers are the same writers behind Arrested Development. So, with this in mind, I expect... Oh, and I forgot to mention, the big goal that Dan Harmon, the creator, and a bunch of the stars have been saying in a trend on Twitter is hashtag 6 seasons in a movie.
6 seasons in a movie, yep.
That's the dream.
So, we're at the 6th season. I guarantee you that the movie will be crowdfunded because there's nowhere else to go. Yahoo cannot fund a feature film.
No, they
I don't think it
cannot.
can.
No, they
At least
can't.
not that streaming service because it's so small it's about to explode. But
No, they
the
can't.
movie, I almost guarantee you, will be crowdfunded if it happens.
Okay.
Is that cool? Are we going to object to that?
No, I'm not going to object
If
to
they
that.
have nowhere else to go.
Yeah, if they have nowhere else to go, and they think the fans would want it, which spoiler, they really want it.
Yeah.
Because again,
Yeah,
they never
kinda
shut
see
up
why.
about it.
Spoilers, Sean. Jeez.
So yes, I'm okay with that situation. But it's just you gotta exhaust other revenues first, because if you're able to use a legitimate studio, unless they're demanding crazy things, I feel like that's the right thing to do. Because asking for the fans' money is kind of...
It's like
I don't
holding
know.
a gun to their head. This movie won't
Yeah,
happen
exactly.
unless
It
you
is
put
a
money
threat.
forward
Look at
first for the movie, and then second for a ticket at the movie theater.
Yes,
Because
you have to
that.
double. You have to charge double for that. So,
Double dipping. Bullshit.
It's
I
like,
guess in closing,
yeah.
Yeah.
I think crowdfunding's great, except Zach Braff.
Oh god! Wow, we're really centralizing that. Everything's awesome except Zach Braff.
That's the song in Lego Movie 2.
Everything is
Everything
awesome except Zach Braff.
Braff. Everything is cool when you're part of the team, as long as Zach Braff isn't in that team.
Oh man, that song would tank.
I think our closing comment should be before. Like, I think crowdfunding should not be your last option, but it should be an option worth taking into consideration. You've got
Yes, it's a legitimate
as a
option.
customer, as a person who has contributed to Kickstarters, and I'm pretty sure the things that are going to come out will come out. You can't just use it as an excuse to get people's money.
Right.
You gotta use all the other avenues. You gotta let the people who are not already famous do their thing. Seriously. I recently crowdfunded an album that from a band, the members of which I know. It's their first album. That's totally justified.
That's
because they
what
wouldn't be
Kickstarter's all about. Look at the name. Kickstarter.
Kickstarter.
Not
Yeah, it's-
Kick
yeah.
Continuer.
Continuer.
King.
I don't know. Hipstarter was better.
Yeah, that was better. Okay, I'll go then. I guess for closing.
I guess we're just gonna do that. This is the new format of CinemaTalk. It's like the video reviews.
Yeah.
Okay, so Larry, your final thesis and a score, please.
All
What
right.
do you give
well,
crowdfunding?
I think crowdfunding had very good intentions. Its heart was in the right place. No, I really do like crowdfunding. I think it's a great system, and I think if used correctly and if you think about it going in, a lot can get done. I've seen plenty of video games being kickstarted. Tim Schafer did it, and that worked very well for him. That was kind of the first. That was kind of the revolutionary one, I feel, for games. They kind of saw the potential there. Well, yeah, I guess so. But who wants to do ya? And then you have movies getting funded. You have all these You got potato salads getting funded. You know,
Web series is getting
series, games.
Guys, we could do a Kickstarter to get like $10.
Kickstarter, $10, $100.
Kickstarter for the next episode of Thought Process.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Yes. We'll do it.
Yes.
What's the top? What's our goal?
I will give you 5 episodes of Thought Process if you give me $10,000.
Oh,
Don't
what
worry,
the
guys.
hell, man?
No.
That's a lot of money.
You know how much per view costs? Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, except Sean, that's the joke.
I got it. I got it. Don't
But overall, I think there's a big argument that goes with Kickstarter and Indiegogo and things like that. You know, is the money really going to the people? Is the money really going to the people who deserve it, or are they just leeching off of fans?
Exactly.
That's the idea. But really, there's a fine line between asking fans if they want something. Because really, I don't care how famous you are, Kickstarting is a leap of faith. No matter how much money you put and no matter how many fans you have. The AVGN movie was a leap of faith. So will be the Community movie. Okay? Despite how much we want to say about something, the internet is kind of niche. In a sense. Because with so many people in America and around the world, there's actually, if you think about it, a very small amount of people who use the internet daily and spend their time on it.
Well, I mean, it's very common, but not.
Well,
like
I mean,
us. We
with
use it way
people
more
like
than
with
most.
young adults, college students, high school students, of course. But like, ask a 52-year-old man.
Yeah.
If he goes on the internet daily, most of them will probably go, "Well, I got kids to feed." So
Okay, well, let's.
So as I
actually-
wrap it up, I'm just gonna say,
seriously.
it's a bit long-winded. Kickstarter, pretty cool. 10 out of 10. Would buy. Would buy.
Okay,
I would
okay.
just like to-
and
I would just
hold
like to
on, real quick,
stress-
I have one final thought, please, Sean.
Oh
And
my
it's
god!
good.
I haven't even got to my final. Yes, go.
Fine. Okay, listen. You know how we usually say you do it well? How we like end it always with that?
Yeah.
You see, in Kickstarter, it's kind of ironic. If you're doing too well, you might not be in the right place.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, so we flip it on its head. Flip that cliche of ours on its head. Really, my final comment is just be responsible with it.
Yes.
If don't misuse it, Zach Braff.
Don't screw with the
because
fans,
if he-
man.
Yeah, well, he didn't do that. He gave them the movie he promised, so that, I can't knock him down for that.
Right.
But yeah, be responsible. If you don't have to, you probably shouldn't. But I totally get the argument of creative control. Like if you're whatever you want to make is getting really messed up by whoever has the money, I understand. But be careful, be responsible with it, and also don't disappoint your fans. I've seen a lot of projects get funded and never happen, and that's really bad.
Look at like
Kids don't crowdfund and drive.
Don't crowdfund.
yeah,
and
look
drive.
at like someone like Edgar Wright.
Be
He
responsible.
had a project and he felt that they were taking away too much creative control, so he quit. He left.
Oh my god! What if he crowdfunded like this incredibly unsubtle ripoff?
What?
So, I was talking about Edgar Wright, how he was part of Ant-Man, and he
that
felt
whole
that
thing?
Disney was taking
Yeah.
too much creative control away from him, so he left. And then he would kickstart the independent ripoff.
Some other insect. Spider-Man. No, that's
No, that's taken.
Anyway, we're going to leave here. Thanks for listening. Tune in next week for a pretty interesting topic, I'm sure.
Yeah, maybe
come
we
up
should talk
with
about
something.
indiness next time, because considering we talk about it so much in this podcast.
I don't know enough about the indie scene to do
Wait,
that.
guys. Next week's not going to be a CinemaTalk.
I thought it was.
No.
Yeah, I think next week should be.
What?
Wait, no,
What?
it's
No.
not.
God, it's
not,
not.
guys.
We have
Do you know what's next week?
a new show.
I thought we were going to delay a week. Whatever.
New show.
Most likely, fine, whatever. Most likely, next Saturday. I'm used to Wednesday still. Next Saturday, you will get the first 3 top 3.
Yeah.
Do we want to say the subject?
Should we?
No, let's just keep it a secret
All right.
for all
Okay.
the 0 people listening.
Yeah, we'll keep it a secret to you.
yeah.
Nobody.
Hypothetical listener.
Hypothetical list. We gotta give him a name.
We have to give him a name.
My mom.
Joe. No.
No, she listens, so I mean.
Yeah. A
We got
ton
one
of my
viewer.
friends listen also. A lot of my friends commented on the Star Wars 7 episode.
Cool.
One of my
so,
friends-
we gotta wrap this up. Seriously,
Wait,
guys.
but wait,
stop
just
talking.
one of my
let's-
friends.
No, everyone stop talking.
One of
No,
my
I'm
friends
done.
has a personal vendetta with Sean about him hating the extended universe. I'm just putting that
Well,
out.
yeah, because the Star Wars Expanded Universe is dumb most of the time and totally not worth whatever good is in it because it trivializes the core series, and that's a big no-no for derivative works.
Burn.
Anyway, we are ending this freaking podcast right now. Thank you for listening. Like I said, 3 top 3s next Saturday. Angry Video Game Nerd movie review on Rule of Thirds. Until then, or whatever, I'm Sean,
I'm Larry.
and he's
And I'm
Max.
Max.
Wow, you want to get out of here.
I'm just trying to rush this. And again, thanks for listening, and we'll see you later.
See you guys
You'll see us
later.
later. You'll not see us. You'll listen to us later. Whatever. We came up with something. We're
Bye.
done.
Bye.
Cut.
Rule thirds in the morning.
Ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.